Hello, Spiritual Collective. So today's message came to me very chaotically. So it's kind of started out chaotic, and we'll see how this energy follows and where it goes. But yeah, cards were just kind of like flying out the bot, like spilling, like it was just chaotic, like the process. And it was just a little weird getting started. So we'll see. We'll see where this reading takes us. And it is a reading that is, childhood is important for this reading. Something that's been with you since childhood is very important. Evil eye and they wish. So evil eye has been with you since you were a child. You may have even felt like you were being watched at times. Even in the privacy of your own home, you may have felt this strong feeling of something on the other side, something watching, just something, that energy, that feeling of being watched. They wish. So the aspect of the evil eye that came from people in your life, whether it be in school or family or siblings, was they wish. They were giving you evil eye because they wished for something that maybe you had, like something that you had that they felt that they were lacking. And then web spinning again in this reading, followed by Babylon and Mesopotamia. So if not in this lifetime that you have ties to Babylon and Mesopotamia, maybe in another lifetime, or you may be drawn to that region of the world. You may find it fascinating. You may find the spirituality there fascinating. You may have visited. You may have wished to have visited. You may astrally visit there. There's something about this region, this time period as well, that fascinates you. Web spinning. So again, with this creative spinning of the web, which we will see how that manifests, and also with the evil eye here, this would be a network of a web of evil eye, possibly, that was with you since childhood. Think of your social circles, think of your family, social circles, school, whatever circles that you were in, whatever surroundings that surrounded you, there was a web of whatever. Okay? So, the Ace of Swords, a new mentality, a new idea, a new frame of mind that needs to be reached or is being reached here. Followed by the Four of Cups. I feel like this is the energy that you've been in previously, but you were specifically heavily in childhood, hoping for something better. You were kept from doing a lot of things that brought you joy. You were probably in a situation that was very controlling, and you were looking out, admiring the world and possible freedom that you would only get later on in life. This is a possibility. The Lovers. Embracing a different side of yourself. Healing yourself. Just bringing in this new version of yourself that's healed. Healing shame. There's also healing shame and guilt of something that may have happened. Maybe something that happened in childhood. The Ten of Cups. There is a possibility for happiness, of emotional fulfillment here, of emotional, creative fulfillment, inspiration, a feeling of bliss and joy here, and a feeling of flow and connection. It's possible here, but there's been a time, or even maybe now, that you've been in this Eight of Swords energy where you've been feeling imprisoned, where you've been feeling trapped by your own thoughts and unable to move, unable to fly away, unable to get out of this stuck mental pattern that you have trapped yourself in, or also that others have trapped you in your past. Again, your thoughts and your feelings coming from other places that may have come with you since childhood. These thoughts, these repeating loops of mental communication that are other people's communication towards you. A mean family member, a mean cruel words said by your peer group, students in your school, something about your surroundings that affected you as well and made you feel trapped. The Six of Coins, there's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of sharing, giving and receiving. You're going to receive a lot, you're going to grow a lot. It's fair and balanced. It's harmonious. It's harmonious wealth. It's a beautiful flow of even receiving, giving and receiving. It's harmonious. It's really beautiful. But the king, followed by the King of Swords. So also, again, this is a sword and cups, but also with the sword here, this is you or your energy, or maybe someone in your life. This could be, you could have an air sign in your life, a strong air sign. But also, too, this is mental clarity. Logical, strategic, action based on strategy, logic, and clarity. That you're taking up this sword, to finally gain this Ten of Cups, to get you out of this and into this. To get out of this and into this. Okay? No longer do you need to be stagnant looking at the grass on the other side. You are already here. Your bliss is already here. You just have to see it. And because of this Four of Cups and Eight of Swords energy of being bored and stagnant and looking beyond and wanting more and not realizing what you have, and the Eight of Swords feeling imprisoned and in a mental loop that's keeping you held back, that's pretty much what's keeping you from these strong positive emotions, which you do feel from time to time, but you have a lot of things that kind of creep in that get you thinking a certain way, that keep you stagnant. Movement is important. Getting things flowing. Again, with this stagnant energy that needs to be moving. Getting out of this feeling of not being able to move forward or not being able to reach where you're wanting to go. But it's there for you. You just have to make the move. Individuality. Appreciate your individuality. It's what makes you you. You are an individual. We are all individuals. We all have our unique spark. And again, this is something that had people upset and in their head and had them wishing they were you. And also this Four of Cups could also be an aspect of them wishing for something that you had as well, not appreciating what they had. So it's on both sides, this level of Four of Cups mentality of looking at something else as being better or not seeing what you have and just having that stagnate you. The fledgling, okay. Again, you are in the beginning phase of a new cycle. Again, this this initiatory stage that you're embarking upon, that you're getting ready to embark upon. You're on the threshold of some sort of initiation, this new beginning of this new mentality that you're getting ready to fully embrace. Chaos. It feels like I always pull this card from this deck. I feel like this card always comes out. Again, this reading is very chaotic. Your life could also really feel chaotic right now. or in the past it felt very chaotic. There could have been a recent storm in your life, physically and metaphorically as well, adding this feeling of, again, also too with movement and chaos, this movement at the storm, this movement with the horse, movement is going to happen and it may feel chaotic for you. Interesting. Letting go. You need to let go of the things in the past that have kept you, you need to release them, that have kept you bound, that kept you feeling stuck, that kept you feeling like you couldn't move forward. Again, letting go is really important at this point in time. It's always important, but you really need to really embrace letting go of things, of people, of whatever that's keeping you stuck, right? Very important. And because we had evil eye, I need to, it was a strong placement of evil eye. And so I need to see, because it's put so much stagnant energy on your life that you carry this with you, that I need to see what's going on. Okay, they were recruiting haters. You may have been bullied when you were in school. You may have been bullied by your family. That happens a lot. Bullied by your peer group. Wherever you were at, it just seemed like you had a group of people who were just recruiting haters, like flying monkey type thing. And you know what? It's still happening. I think for this collective, I know personally that this still happens to you. You do still have haters. You still get evil eye pretty heavy. If you've resonated with some past readings, you're still receiving this. So not only are you experiencing it now, but you've experienced it back then, and maybe you didn't quite really think of it like that, but that's what was happening. It's a reoccurring theme that's going on in your life. And again, there's something about they wish. They wish for something you have that they wish. It's more like, they wish kind of feeling going on there. The person hating on you has narcissistic behavior. Yes, they are very narcissistic. And because you have something that they want, this really angers them. And so they act out in this kind of behavior. Unexplained body welts, bruises, and scratches. In case you may be feeling like you have received unexplained bruises, pains, and stuff. And sometimes this happens in the physical world. We don't really remember how something happened. We're busy. We hurt ourselves. But sometimes it can also be a part of this psychic thing too, that with this evil eye. You may be getting headaches. You may like certain pains in your bodies, because it's really it's attached to nerves, which you're being nervously attacked, like the nervous system, spiritually and spiritually, and your nervous system, your spiritual body and your emotional body. Unexplained freak accident. Ooh. Oh, you may have had an unexplained accident that kind of happened. It was just kind of weird. Like, oh, that's really odd that happened. Maybe, hopefully it wasn't extreme. But it was just something like, wow, that's, the way it happened was weird, or didn't make sense, or like, well, that was weird that even happened. Again, with this negative energy, and I don't want to be too much in this negative energy, but we need to see what's going on. Posting things directed towards you instead of coming at you directly. Yes, this indirect, passive aggressive behavior that people do, and I know they do it online. They also do it in person. You know that they don't like you, and they make it known, but they're super friendly, kind of, but like underhandedly, like, oh, you know what it is. This kind of thing. Oh, look at that face. Man, that's, God. The image for this card. Jeez. Yeah, they're passive aggressive. They got ill intent, and this is them on the inside, when on the outside they're like they're trying to come off as a cute version of that, but you don't see it because you recognize this. You already know what they're doing. Ugh, God, that's an ugly picture. Some of you guys, it may be your significant other. Not a lot of you, or maybe a lot of you, I don't know. I take it as it applies. Again, this is a very general reading. I cover a large audience here for those watching and those who will watch in the future. Timeless reading. Okay, so this may apply for some of you. A significant other may also be directing negative attention, sending you negativity, whether that's intentional or not. Sometimes it's unintentional. Sometimes it's intentional. Okay, let's just be honest. But sometimes it's like not. And they're still sending it somehow. Like, I don't know. They need to work on that. But I think you'll know the difference. But still, it's something they need to work on if they don't really know they're doing it, but they're still being negative in a way. They need to kind of be schooled on how to, like, interact with you, especially if you're in a relationship. Communication is important. Hating on your creativeness and ideas. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, all of us creatives know that we get a lot of haters when they see that we did something creative. And they feel like, oh, I didn't do that. Or a lot of people like, oh, I'm not creative. Like, they say that, and it's like, everyone's creative. It's just people put time and effort into creativity, get more out of it, and become more creative because they are actually creating and they get more ideas. Whereas those who don't embrace that don't, and therefore they deem themselves uncreative, and then they get jealous and they see a creative person actually creating and having great ideas and not even flaunting in their face, just like expressing it in their own healthy way, just whatever, and they get butthurt. And it's like, calm down. Why don't you do something for you instead of getting butthurt feelings because someone else did something that you're not brave enough to do, you know? That you don't put the time in to do, you know? And we all have different lives. We all have different schedules and stuff. But don't get mad at someone because they did something creative. Like, what kind of stuff, what kind of BS is that? Hold on. Spreading rumors about you. Okay, well, that's just, like, obvious. Like, we already knew that was happening. Like, everyone here that's resonated with prior readings that dealt with this, we already know that's happening. That's been happening. That goes with this recruiting card. And it's like, oh, come on, people. Oh, what's this? Oh, I didn't even see this card. This one just sneakily came in there, and I didn't even see it. I didn't even know I drew it. Wow. Causing chaos and fights in your love connection. So this was... Okay, so the chaos. You could be getting into arguments, again, with that significant other. Like, that whole, like, maybe your significant other is acting negatively towards you. It's because they're sending chaos fights in your love connection. So they're trying to, like, throw, like, this negative stuff at you and through your love connections to get this chaos and, like, fights going. Like, maybe they're butthurt that you're in a relationship and they're not, or maybe they are jealous of you or your person or both, and they want to cause, like, some kind of split, something like that. Maybe it's a past relationship that you're no longer with, but they're seeing you with a new person, and so they're trying to send this energy to get you to fight with your now partner, okay? With your current partner. And that's really not... And that kind of stuff, along with the evil eye and spreading of rumors and causing drama and chaos in your life, is causing you to close down. But there's some new energy, this new mindset that's going to be coming in that's going to help you deal with that. And it's going to deal with moving and letting go. Movement and letting go. There's something you need to let go of, move forward from. And you got to take, it's going to be a logical, precise decision. You're going to be very, like, cutting. It's going to cut. Like, that's a decision, and that's it. That's it. It's a decision. Yeah, I'm getting that. It's done. You know, you make that cut. Because it's really important that you do that. Okay. Okay, so we know we got haters. I mean, that's... But this may be a reoccurring. It's important to know that a lot of this is reoccurring in your life. In your past, you've had things that happened in your childhood, in your growing up, your teen years, just growing up in general throughout your life. You've had this kind of play out, and recording, announcement, expression, revealing. Some of you may need to get a recording of something. Someone may have a recording of something. Or just an announcement, expression, revealing. Announcement. Okay. So there could be a recording involved, but also could be announcement, expression, revealing. So something's going to be revealed. This King of Swords, again, communication. Something's going to be revealed. The Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords. Someone's going to say something. Something's going to come out. Someone said something. It's going to be revealed. It's going to be announced. Okay. Okay. And you're going to express yourself. There's going to be a lot of expression, a lot of verbal communications around this. Something's going to come out. Someone said something. Private relationship. Private relationship is involved. Again, you have people throwing muck at your relationship, but also, too, there might be a couple involved as well. Maybe you have a drama with a certain couple. I don't know. But also, definitely, you being a couple with someone is triggering someone in this current day, your modern day, your current experience of this evil eye and this web spinning. This web spinning of deceit and recruition. That's a new word I'm making up, I guess. Recruiting of people to spread rumors and gossip and spread just hateful, energy your way. Putting on a show. Okay, putting on a show. Okay, so it's going to be revealed in a very spectacular way, whatever this is. Putting on a show. Some of you might actually be putting on a show and making announcements. And maybe that's what has people jealous. Like, oh, you're in the spotlight. Why aren't I? Well, so-and-so is like really this way. And telling people, that sort of thing. Because you're in the spotlight and you're making announcements and people listen to you and they don't like that. I'm getting that too. There's some of that. And also, too, this thing that's going to come out is going to be... It's going to be like an announcement putting on a show. Like, it's going to be spectacular when it comes out. It's going to be like very like, wow. Okay. Okay. Also, some of you are performers and someone is very jealous that you're putting on a show. You're talented, you're creative, you're putting on a show. They don't like that. That's why they are hating on you. Getting played, manipulation, lies, and control. So they want to manipulate you through other people's perception. Changing other people's perception of you. Making you out to be a certain way to manipulate and control them. Therefore manipulating and controlling you because you feel stuck. You feel like nobody, you can't connect with anybody. Nobody listens. Something of that nature. That it changes the way you view the world and therefore not allowing you to move forward and putting you in a place where you're more easily susceptible to things happening. They're in their fields. We already knew that. May also be some weird sexual energy as well coming through for some of you. Getting a room. You may need to get a room, or maybe there's some interesting sexual things going on where someone has to get a room. You may be traveling. Maybe you're a performer, you're traveling. Getting a room has something to do with this. Hotel. motel, sweet business, pleasure. Maybe some pleasure things going on as well. Maybe someone you know is getting a hotel. Again, just what's coming out, especially after in their feels. And okay, check yourself. Check how you're thinking about yourself. Someone needs to check themselves. Not only just you with your usual mental checks and your emotional checks and making sure you're good. Someone else needs to check them. These people who are doing this need to check themselves really, really, really fast. Because what they're doing, they need to check themselves a lot. Because it's like, you need to do some soul searching, some kind of like get in touch with knowing who you are. Because you obviously don't. Oh, the consuming family, the pressure of peers, also religious ties as well. Okay. Okay. Consuming family, again, since childhood. Pressure of peers in your school, in your peer, like I'm saying, this, again, with some of this drama was also peer pressure when you were going through school years, high school years, college years, your family. There was a lot of pressure to conform to a certain way of being. And when you didn't, like, things got crazy, weird. People formed a web of manipulation, lies, deceit. There's a religious overtones, could be, or dogmatic overtones. Could be religious, could be political, could just be control in general, right? Also getting a little bit of Mesopotamia vibes as well. Maybe in that region, there's something there. Religion of that region. Maybe your family is from this region. For some of you, not all of you, obviously. Natural, authentic, real, organic. You're natural, you're authentic, you're real, you're organic, and that's what causing these people to, like, you know, self-destruct. You know, you got this individuality here. You know, individuality, and you're natural, you're authentic. You're not afraid to say what you need to say, and sometimes that really upsets people because you're coming from your own truth, and you're not gonna, you know, quiet yourself. If someone asks you something, you're gonna say it. Like, you're not gonna be a mean jerk. I mean, you I don't know, I mean, some people might, but, like, you're not going to, it's just going to be, well, you asked me this. You know, maybe they wanted you to say something else, or maybe they wanted you to censor yourself and you didn't, and that caused them to be upset with you and caused them to form this web of flying monkeys, of deceitful people who are just spreading rumors and being jerks, being bullies. The past is a prison. Okay, past, family, coming back over and over again. Bitterness, grudge, refusal to let go. The past is a prison. This card kind of reminds me, what's that movie, that book, the older book? Oh, God, what was that? Where the woman, like, she was going to get married, and then, like, he didn't come, or he died, or something happened, and, like, she was a widow, and, like, she had, like, she still had the, was it Great Expectations? It was something where she still had the dinner, like, for the marriage or something. Like, she was in her wedding dress or something, and she had this big wedding cake, and, like, this, if I'm remembering that right, and it was, like, had spider webs all over it, and she's walking around still waiting for him to come. Kind of what this reminds me of. I know that's kind of off topic, but I see that because you got the spider in her little hair, looks like a veil, and the cake looks like a wedding cake. But anyways, so the past is a prison. There could have been a wedding as well. Like, there could have been a past relationship that was bad, but went to dust, and like, reminiscing about that, and there was something there. Maybe someone that's doing this stuff to was tied to that past. But again, this is family. This is also, again, your childhood, your school years. Something there that's keeping you blocked and keeping you stagnant in this Eight of Swords energy, right? Again, not being able to move forward. The past is a prison. A prison of your own thoughts, your own memories, things that are coming up for you. Internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve, okay? So it's causing mental struggle. It's causing you to like be in this state where you're just trying to meet your challenges, but want to be perfect. Perfectionism. I'm getting like perfectionism here. I'm getting like, has to be perfect. I have to tame this wild beast. It has to be perfect. There's something there about that. You need to let go. Again, with this mental prison, this past, this thing that's been with you. Movements forward. Letting go. Oops, that's not letting go. Sorry. That's you just need to let go of this strong energy that's holding you back. There we go. Letting go. See that? Release. Movement, letting go. Leading to that Ace of Swords. Right? Very important. That's where you need to be right now. That's what you need to be exploring. Ooh. Anti-hero, maverick, risk taker, rule breaker. You may have been painted this way. You may have, yeah, you're seen as a transgressive. You're transgressing. You're not saying the right thing. You don't look the right way. You look different. You look, you're eccentric, or you're not saying the right thing. You're supposed to agree with everyone else, but you don't. Again, orthodoxy here, whether it be religion. Again, there's another strong religious connotation here, but also politics. So religion, politics, anything that's dogmatic, anything that's like super one-sided, you can't step outside the lines, or you're gonna be met with haters. You know, and they don't care about nuance. This isn't about individuality. This is about conforming. Nightmares, psychic protection, shield, bad dreams. Protect yourself, shield up, especially at night. Well, always, but at night as well. Sometimes you might forget. You think at night you're safe. Maybe you should think about doing a protective barrier before you go to bed. This will be very helpful and will keep some of that chaotic energy that's being sent to you at bay, because it could be sneaking in while you're dreaming. Can be what's going on. You know, let's get a positive note, some more clarity on how to deal with this. We already know we got to let go. We already know we got to look at a different frame of mind. We know it's because something about us is triggering people, and always has since we were a child. The power of silence. Find time to be in silence. Silence your mind. Get into that space where you appreciate silence. Turn off your phone or your computer and just find a quiet spot. Let this be your sign. Look for the signs in your life. Let this be your sign. Let this be your sign that everything you thought was going on is being clarified. You were asking for a sign. Here is your sign. So if you were asking for something and it was clarified by this video or some kind of message in this video, let this be your sign. This is your sign that you're looking for. Wisdom of the solar plexus. Find your own strength. So meditation is very important. You need to find your own strength. You need to really connect with yourself and enable for you to let go and find this new clarity. So meditation, silence, you know, protection. Protection is always going to be important, because throat release. Oh my gosh. That announcement, the announcement. You could also be making, like I said, you could also be making an announcement. This throat release is possibly you making that announcement, you saying those things, you not being afraid to use your voice. Something about you not being able to use your voice throughout your life. throat release. You need to get some words off your chest. You need to say some words. Again, there's a lot of swords in this reading. The King of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Something's going to be said. There is going to be something that's going to be said. There's a new mindset coming in, but there's also some words. The King of Swords. He ain't afraid to say some words. You know that. He is definitely not afraid to say some words, right? Okay. So that's what's happening, really. So it's gonna be good. It's positive, even though there's a lot of drama. But we already knew there was drama. But you're getting ready to let it go. Okay? Conscious connections. You'll be more conscious about your actions. You're going to make more conscious choices. Make conscious connections with other people. These cards remind me of each other in a way. It feels like she's looking at herself. It's like the same person. Looking at themselves. It's the same person. Conscious of who they are. The other side of them. Really being conscious of who you are. The other side of who you are. Your shadow side. Both sides of you, all sides of you, encompassed as your individual being. That's important. You're going to have more respect for your being whole, your whole person. That's important. Okay. Oh, here we go. I thought that was another card. What you want wants you. So, whatever you've been wanting, and I feel like this has to do with, like, take this as your sign. This is your sign. What you want wants you. What you're going forward for, what you're striving towards, wants you as well. You want it, it wants you. This connection is mutual for whatever you're hoping for. You just need to do a lot of releasing and letting go and reaching for what you want. You need to reach for what you want. It's there. When you quiet your mind and find the silence and the stillness that it's been talking about in this reading, that's when you're going to really be able to see it more clearly. So that's what I have for you. It makes sense. It felt a little chaotic at first, but it really came together. Yeah. You're gonna move past this. You're gonna break cycles. You're going to break cycles that's been with you for a while, since childhood. So remember, let go, connect with your inner self, meditate, and find that beautiful new light that's within you. Good night.